I'm no fool. I know my old art tours are everyone's favorite videos. I know everyone gets all excited when I roll up my sleeves and start indiscriminately roasting my old art I dragged out from the ether. And you know what? I've said this a lot, but they're my favorite too. I love causing myself psychic damage by going into the trenches and getting jump scared by what I find in there. So, it's time for part 5. Also, I know I say this in like every part, but we are literally on part 5 and I still have a sea of crap I haven't shown yet. Seriously, I would post on DeviantArt almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Nowadays, I draw at least a few polished pieces a month and do smaller doodles in between. But God, I was an art-making machine back then. And now we are all reaping the benefits of it. So everyone say thank you to my small cringe self, and let's dive into her mess. Okay, we're just starting off knee-deep in the trenches here. If you just got jump scared by this, I can't be held responsible for that. Anyway, this masterpiece was drawn on January 3rd, 2010. So happy New Year 2010, everyone. I was clearly celebrating by drawing whatever we're calling this mess. I bet you could never guess this girl's name was Cherry the Rabbit. It's not like she has a cherry stuck on her design in the most awkward places. This on DeviantArt was titled Cherry-Begging for Mercy. And like, Jesus Christ, what the hell was this girl going through? I'm pretty sure she was like the same age as Cream, so that made her like 6 years old. And I know she had like a mean older sister, but begging for mercy? Girl, let's calm those rectangular block tears down a bit. We're being a little bit over dramatic, I think. Aside from how horrible this design is, like how the dress rips in an awkward place and has this ugly triangular design underneath it and has ripped sleeves and a ribbon on the top right of the dress for some reason. Why do our legs just suddenly stop before they hit the end of the dress? Like, I'm sorry, does that ugly cherry fringe cut her legs right off? Maybe that's why she's begging for mercy. Maybe her sister sawed her damn legs off. Or she punched her in the face to make her eyes look so bizarre. I don't know why they look like that. Or she did both. And she ripped the dress while she was at it. I didn't mention the fact that her hands are literally just circles, uneven ones at that, and that her arms are the same length as caterpillars, but I'm done looking at this now, so bye Cherry, sorry that all happened. So now let's go forward a few months until we get to June 6, 2010. Fun fact, this was drawn a day after my bestie's birthday, and what a gift this is. Say hi to Lemon Score again. I just know you missed those soulless basic MS Paint green eyes. Well, to start, I like that her legs are broken. Actually, none of her body is bending at all. It's like she literally just snapped her legs to get into this pose. Her hands also look like the cauliflower I had for dinner last night, and her mouth is so small you need a microscope to see it. But one of the funniest things to me here is that speech bubble. First off, it's extremely hard to read because it's not colored in and it is written in the worst magenta font. Second off, I could have drew a heart. Why did I add a less than 3 and brush script MT font? Girl, come on, you're smarter than this. But also the actual text. Were you looking for me? Girl, you are sitting in an open field of Photoshop grass brush with an extremely crudely drawn sun and clouds with the airbrush tool. How the hell can anyone possibly lose you? And furthermore, why would anyone even be looking for you? I don't know why I'm roasting this so hard when for once she's smiling and the background is in a pitch black prison, but that sky is so bad I'm now the one crying about it. And I turned all the lights off for dramatic effect. Moving on. This one was drawn a few months later on November 24th, 2010, and everyone say hello to Citrus. He came back. Again. He won't stop coming back. Here we have some traditional art here, because for a long time I actually used to draw all my art traditionally first, before I forgot to hold a pen that's not my tablet pen, and then I'd scan it into color. Sometimes I'd just color it in with colored pencils though, which is what we have here. And we certainly have something here. I don't need to tell you that his hand is backwards, you can see that for yourself, but I can tell you to call an ambulance for him because not only is his hand backwards, but it's dripping blood. Probably because it's broken. I have no idea what's going on here, but what I do know is I definitely thought I did something with this picture. Like, I thought this was so badass. The lidded eyes, the hand obscuring his face, the blood dripping down like he's some big bad villain. Girl, I got bad news. His eyes aren't cool. They look extremely goofy because one of them is open more than the other one. Also, who does this? Why would he just stand there flexing the blood on his hand? Like, was this supposed to be I just killed someone and now I need to JoJo pose about it? I've never watched JoJo, but that's basically how I expect the entire anime to be. Anyway, bye Citrus, she'll come back eventually, I just know it. Let's rewind the clock back a few months and go to February 6, 2010, because, wow, I forgot I even drew this, and then opening it again hit me like a truck. Yes, that is two Chao. Yes, one is crying over the other's presumably dead body. Was I, like, okay as a child? Why in God's name did I draw this? I feel like the context makes this even worse, because neither of these Chao were my characters. This was drawn as a contest entry, where the objective was to draw these two Chao together because they were a couple. Everyone else drew these like cute lovey-dovey Chao pieces, and I was like, I know what I should do. I should kill one of them. And then I did. And then I submitted it. I'm literally surprised the person running this contest didn't block me for this one. If we just ignore the two Chao for a second, which I understand is extremely hard to do because look at them, I love how bad the night sky here is drawn. Like the default Photoshop star brush, and of course the default Photoshop grass brush, because it was my best friend back then. Clearly I needed all the friends I could get because I was killing everyone OCs for no reason. God, I will never get over how funny this one is. Why would I kill the Chao and then make the other one dramatically cry over him? They're literally Chao. We'll never know. I can't explain myself. Let's keep trudging through the trenches. I was gonna call this one a palette cleanser, but like, is it? I mean, she's in a bubble, and she's not bleeding or upset or crying or dead. This was drawn on August 6, 2010, and I can't remember if I showed this character yet before. I don't think I have, so this is Mila the rabbit. Well, technically her name was Mila Isabel Lil Awai, which I didn't name or design her, so I'm not gonna roast that. Except I have to just roast a tiny bit because that fire on her ear made it so damn funny to me. Girl's looking like a car. Okay, that's it. No more roasting that aspect. Instead, let's talk about how her hands look like pasta forks, how her arms are bending the wrong way, so she probably needs to go in the emergency room with Citrus, and the fact she's standing in a bubble. No, seriously, I can't explain why. This wasn't a special ability she had or anything. I also just noticed she's glowing too. Of course she's glowing and in a bubble. I mean, she looks confused, so she's also probably wondering why she's glowing and in a bubble. I also know that at this point you weren't expecting any other background enemy than Photoshop grass brush in a dark forest. Calling it a forest is generous though, it looks like more of a dark curtain with some green fluff on top of it. This isn't the worst of my old drawings, but I'm still struggling to understand the vision here. Oh well. It was only a matter of time before someone turned off the lights again. This time it only took a few days since this was drawn on August 29th, 2010. This character's name was Pichiku the Cherry Bomb Cedrian? Okay, sure, whatever you say. And her whole personality was that she was mean. Great. So what did I do? Clearly draw her standing in the dark while glowing for some reason, because I guess all my OCs were so talented they could glow on command, while holding a poorly drawn rose with some of the lyrics to Roses by Megan Dia next to her. I think the funniest thing about this picture is that some of the lyrics are cut off. Like, I cropped this image myself and I couldn't even do that right, apparently. I also see we have the return of the circle hand, because I couldn't figure out how to draw her holding a rose, and her other hand looks like mini assorted sausages, but hey, at least I tried on that one. I also think some hilarious context for this is that there actively was no context. This character had no development whatsoever, no relationships, no friends. I just drew this for no reason and it never came up again. I think I just wanted to draw tears because I was so good at it, clearly. I also am still wondering what exactly makes her a cherry bomb Cedrian, because girl, I ain't seeing not one cherry on her, but that's a question for another day, I ask. Now, this was my last piece of 2010. This was drawn on December 30th, 2010, and this character's name was Razzie Ray, the DJ Raccoon. I actually bought her, and when I say bought, I mean with DeviantArt points, of course. I had no real money back then. From a popular Sonic fan artist at the time. And I'll be so real, I felt like hot shit having this character. Like, I felt like I was someone because, yeah, I did own Razzie Ray, the DJ Raccoon. Thank you very much. Naturally, because she's a DJ, I thought to myself, I have to draw her DJing. Which was this. But I don't see a turntable or speakers. I mean, she's pointing at a random orb and she's wearing headphones that don't connect to anything. So does that count as DJing? This was during my phase where I liked to do mindless art, but for some reason I would do them only with an airbrush and then further blur the whole thing when I was done, so looking at these pictures made you feel like you had a damn astigmatism. No, your eyes are fine, this is just really blurry for no reason. Honestly, I'll give my younger self this. The rainbows and the big glowy orbs was a fun idea for a club background, but the lights are so awful because they literally obscure big chunks of her while she's already blurry. Why was I allergic to people being able to see my mindless art? This isn't great, but I feel like it'd be a lot better if we could actually see it. Maybe I'll redraw it one day. But for now, we're moving on. Yeah, so Miss Lemon Square is back, and she's not doing great because honestly, when was this character ever okay? This was drawn February 11th, 2011, and I feel like this says so little yet so much at the same time. You know what? I'm a little speechless and not sure where to even start. Do we start with how Lemon's bleeding out from the chest but looks rather unbothered by it as she looks wistfully to the side? Or the rose lollipop that's just ominously peering over her for some reason? This one sorta has context. In class that day, we read the poem The Sick Rose by William Blake. I'll leave it up to you to go look up that poem, but after reading it, I was possessed to draw this for some reason. I think I took it a little too literally, because that horribly drawn rose somehow looks extremely unsettling. I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like it's threatening me. I also love how calm Lemon is despite bleeding everywhere, and gotta love the fact I intentionally gave her soulless eyes with no highlights. Very anime of her. And I don't know why, but the transparent background really sells this. No background whatsoever except that rose. Did the rose stab her? Is that why she's bleeding? Am I next? I feel like I'm next. I'm taking this off the screen now. And here we have the last image, drawn January 13th, 2011. This character's name was Vermilion, and she is no longer mine due to a very funny story. I bought this character for 900 points, which was a lot for a child on DeviantArt, but then the creator missed her so much she asked me for her back. No, she didn't offer to refund me or buy the character back, she just wanted her back for free. And for some reason, I just gave her back because I felt bad. My conscience cost me 900 points, but it's fine, I forgot about this character until right now. So let's talk about whatever the hell is going on here. So she's supposed to be using one of her powers called Sunlight Flash, but like, I'm not sure what it actually does. Like, it's just a light that comes from her gem, and that's about it. Is it supposed to cause temporary blindness or something? Is it like a beam attack? I could have used the temporary blindness a few images ago. But okay, let's say it's supposed to cause a temporary blindness to get out of a sticky situation. Where is whoever she's supposed to be using this on? Girl, there's literally no one around. There's not even a tree or two. She's just standing in some grassy void with a dog. You might also be thinking to yourself, hey, who's the dog? Why is she there? Well, the dog's name is Pandora, and I have not a clue on this God's green earth why she's there. Literally no idea. It's not like she was Vermilion's dog or anything either. She's literally just there. These two characters have no relationship to each other. I'll give it to my younger self that there's definitely visible improvement in this picture versus the older ones, but yeah, maybe try adding in at least a tree or two next time. And with that, we wrap up part 5 of my old art tour. Every time I decide what art I want to put in these videos, I inevitably find art that I completely forgot existed. Like that ridiculous chao art. So keep looking forward to more sometime in the future. I have so much old Sonic nonsense to go around. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Liking and subscribing would be awesome, but I did make you look at the Chao pictures, so like, do I really deserve it? Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!